Today, we're in the ocean room. Crinkly, luminescent jellyfish with tissue paper tentacles hang from the ceiling, a frolicking dolphin, and a friendly hammerhead smile from a mural painted on the wall. Our 5-year-old son, Tyler, won't talk at school, so we've been coming to the Growing Mind Institute for weekly therapy. Dr. Goldman, our son's psychologist, a phrase I didn't expect to hear myself say until he was at least 25 and grappling with the effects of our sporadic family dinners or his lack of quality time with his dad on the weekdays or my inconsistency with the chore chart or any of the other myriad of ways we've already fucked up this precious 0 to 5-year window that sets the stage for the rest of his life. Dr. Goldman is a specialist in selective mutism, an extreme anxiety disorder in children that renders them unable to speak in social situations. It's kind of like Raj on the Big Bang Theory and how he can't talk around women. And Dr. Goldman sits across from us in this overstuffed turquoise chair, and a plush orange octopus with Velcro tentacles clings to the armrest. I have finished the observations at home, school, and here in the office. I'm having trouble focusing on what Dr. Goldman is saying because she's positively glowing. There's something different about it, but I can't put my finger on it. Did she get her hair highlighted? Did she whiten her teeth? Did she lose weight? I cannot figure it out, but whatever it is, she looks amazing. Tyler has difficulty expanding his verbal involvement with people. I nod as I scan her face, looking for clues. She has this wavy blonde hair that she wears in these elaborate bird of paradise updos, supported by decorative hair accessories that defy gravity. She's sporting a tortoiseshell comb, adorned with a red silk hibiscus flower, and it's one side up, the other side down, like Veronica Lake. His biggest challenge appears to be his severe anxieties and subsequent sensory issues. She wears these bright colors, flowy, uneven layered skirts and floral prints, billowy peasant blouses. I can't get a sense of her body under the waves of gauzy clothes. She could be thin or fit, plump with a Buddha belly. I really don't know. He compensates for these anxieties by trying to over-control his environment. Oh, wait a minute. There is something going on with her eyeshadow. You know, she usually favors earth tones, but today it's this deep purple. His sensory issues make what would otherwise be innocuous environmental stimulus feel invasive to him. And I notice these faint yellowish, greenish hued bruises on the side of her face along the hairline. She's had work done. He can get self-absorbed and perseverate on certain ideas. She wasn't available for our appointment last week. I assumed she was going out of town, but she got a mini facelift. I think we're looking at more of an Asperger's diagnosis here. I've never been able to pinpoint her age. I was thinking late 50s, but I really couldn't tell. Maybe it helps her relate to her kiddos by remaining this kind of ageless and changeless, ethereal being. Tyler really likes her. She won him over pretty quickly. Wait, what? Asperger's? I mean, Asperger's? Whoa, did we just go from Raj to Sheldon? What happened? Asperger's. Asp with a P? No, it's asp with a, no, asp with a P. I don't even know how to spell my son's affliction. Not that it matters. Any way you say it, it is not a very flattering name. I wish it had a more whimsical name, like Cumberpatch. Your son has Cumberpatch syndrome. That would be much more palatable. I find out later they don't even call it Asperger's anymore. It's all just lumped under autism spectrum disorder. But Goldman's kind of old school, so she still uses it. So he's on the spectrum. She nods, and I immediately start a to-do list in my head. I gotta get one of those blue puzzle piece bumper stickers for the car. Gotta find out the date for that walk at the Rose Bowl. He never had any speech delays. That's what they tell you to look for with autism. Tyler was speaking in complete sentences at 18 months. Yes, Aspie kids can actually present with what we call hyper articulation. They're sometimes dubbed little professors because their vocabulary is so vast. Oh. I guess I shouldn't have been so proud of the fact that he was using the word plethora correctly at age 3. Mommy, there's a plethora of ducks on the pond. Mommy, there's a plethora of sprinkles on my ice cream. But I didn't know to be looking for that. How was I supposed to know to beware my son's vast vocabulary? And it's then that the sea creatures go all Greek chorus on me. The octopus speaks first. What did you expect? She was 38 when she had him. Her eggs were practically dust. Then the hammerhead. No. It's because she gained over 65 pounds during pregnancy. All those carbs fried his brain. And then the dolphin. Mental illness runs in her family. Et tu? Dolphine, et tu? Only the jellyfish remain neutral. Thank you. But what about the selective mutism? Yes, I think we're looking at a dual diagnosis here. Asperger's and selective mutism, and they're kind of interconnected, if you will. And then she bats her bruised, battered, newly lifted eyelids, paid for by heart-sick parents of special needs kids, and she smiles. And suddenly I'm angry. I am fucking pissed. I want more from her. I want Goldman to be the perfect embodiment of a child psychologist. I want her to be Joanne Woodward in Sybil, or Judd Hirsch in Ordinary People, or Meryl Streep. Not Meryl Streep playing a child psychologist, just the actual Meryl Streep. Authentic and wise, witty and compassionate, and beyond all the bullshit. I mean, if child psychologists are getting plastic surgery, where does that leave the rest of us? My son needs a tiger mom right now, and I am really no more than a lemur mom on a good day. I'm just clinging to a branch, staring big-eyed into the darkness, and I need Goldman to tell me that I'm mother enough to handle this, and I need to believe her. And for God's sakes, I don't want to worry that she's noticing my drooping eyelids, or live in fear that she's going to slip me the business card for her neck guy. I know. I shouldn't judge her. She has the right to do whatever she wants with her face. It's just, I'm having a hard time reconciling my grief with her vanity. Our session is over and we walk down the hall to collect Tyler. He's in the jungle room with Liz. I enter cautiously, eyeing the stuffed chimpanzee in the corner, waiting to hear its 2 cents, but it's quiet. And I hug my sweet, bright, inquisitive son, who startles easily and is obsessed with football and repelled by fruit. My son, who I thought was just anxious, now turns out it might be something more. Goldman cheerfully swipes our credit card. She does not take insurance. We dutifully submit our invoices and occasionally get reimbursed. And then we pat Murphy, the therapy dog, before descending the stairs and exiting onto Sepulveda. I don't know if we'll be coming back here. It's not that I doubt the diagnosis. Bells and whistles are going off inside me. It's just my gut feeling is we need a second opinion. But what I know for sure, as Oprah would say, is we are going across the street to Hamburger Habit because they have good turkey burgers and they give out free balloons. And that's as far as I can think at the moment. That was fun. That was
good. You did such a great job. Now, do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
No, I'd love it.
Sure. Keep it recording.
Hi, my name is Megan Dolon, and I have 2 kids, a 7-year-old son named Tyler and a 5-year-old daughter named Hadley. So before I was a mom, I was an actress for many years. I was a founding member of the Elephant Theater Company in Hollywood and did a lot of plays. I wrote a solo show back in 2000, which I did. And as far as how my creativity's changed since I had kids, It's just, for some reason it's lit a fire under me because I don't have any time. And I realized I live in Long Beach now. I couldn't drive up to Hollywood and be in a play. There was just no way I could do that. So I started going to storytelling nights and just started writing. And I wrote a solo show was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago. And I basically did that by writing 10 to 15 minutes a day for a year and a half. So I found I've become much more disciplined because I have such short increments of time. And it's become much more essential because I feel like I'm running out of time, and because I'm an older mom and I just feel time ticking, and I want to tell all the stories that I want to tell. And hopefully the time away from my kids is okay because they're seeing me do what I'm supposed to do, you know. So I performed this piece in Expressing Motherhood in October of 2016. Yeah, and after I did the piece, there were some people who was like, it like helped people. I was like, which I hadn't thought about, like it could help people that are kind of going through or finding humor in this. It's so overwhelming when you're trying to navigate this.
Did people come up to you after the show or email you?
Yeah, after the show, and then one person gave her email to actually Carrie's husband and wanted me to email them and stuff. So.
And so when was your son diagnosed? When did this happen?
He was diagnosed, he was 5. So that was 2 years ago. Okay. And so initially we thought the diagnosis was selective mutism, which is an anxiety disorder. And then we found out that it was Asperger's or high functioning autism. And we were working with this doctor whose name has been changed, but it just wasn't enough. We didn't feel like it was helping because the real issue is he wouldn't speak to his peers. Like he talked to his sister, they were play together. Like we knew he was capable of it, but he just at school, he would just shut it down because I guess it was just too overwhelming for him. And, so then how we ended up getting the help that we really needed is I started going to a support group for parents of kids with autism, and they just looked at me and they said, it's scientifically proven and backed that kids with autism need ABA therapy, which is applied behavioral analysis, which meant like 30 to 40 hours a week. And that was overwhelming to me because I thought, having someone in my house, like, how are we going to do this? And it's very challenging to navigate the school system with that because you have to get an IEP and nobody has any money and they don't want to, give you the help you need. So anyway, we ended up putting him in a private school, and then through our insurance, we were able to get the ABA therapy, and the private school allowed it. So that's where we are now. So he has a small class size and has a therapist every day at school with him, and he's just thriving. He's doing so well. Yes.
I thought public schools had to supply.
They do, but the thing with my son is he's so bright that none of it was an academic issue. And it might not be fair for me to speak to this because we didn't go that route, but everything I heard from these support groups where the first thing they told me was get a lawyer. Yeah. And you have to go and you have to fight because they're not going to give him anything because his is all social. It's not, he doesn't have any problem with learning. So, and we just felt like we didn't want to waste that much time. And so we just tried this route and it worked. So that's the way we went. No, I didn't write the piece until I was waiting for you to say when the next show was going to be. And I worked on it for a long time. I just kept reworking it. After my son's diagnosis, here's 3 things I did that helped me. 1, I started going to the FEAT, F-E-A-T meetings. The ones that I found were in Redondo Beach, and I'm blanking on what that acronym stands for, but and they're all parents of kids with autism, and it was they give you a whole packet of like where to start and how to get started with the tools that you need. And then also I started therapy because I really needed support and help with this because there is like a grieving process to go through with who you thought your child was going to be and then who they actually are, and learning to love who they are. And I needed I needed help with that. And then third was just really also making sure my husband and I connected regularly and had time together where we weren't consumed with this issue, because it easily takes over your life and it adds a lot more in your already busy schedule. So it's really important that we maintain a civil and loving connection, because it's easy to get snipey and yeah, just dark. So those are the three things that really helped.